Hello, hello, hello. This is day 7, but technically 6 of our trip. And I'm going to explain that right now. So, Dorney Park was a very. We weren't originally going to do Dorney Park. We were just going to go straight to King's Dominion. But we miscounted our days and we were able to go to King's Dominion. Or, not King's Dominion, Hershey Park. Which, in retrospect, yeah, I wish I went to Six Flags, New Jersey, but hey, what are you gonna do? We had no idea when we went that it was gonna shut down, which is horrible because I'm gonna forever regret that decision. But anyways, the reason why we went to Dorney Park is because their new ride, Iron Masonry. I'm pretty sure it's a B&M dive coaster. But besides that, they have a great lineup. But the first ride that we decided to go on was not Talon, but it was Hydra, the Revenge Coaster. So, Hydra, the Revenge Coaster. In my opinion, it's a solid ride. I'm going to have to give it an 8.5 out of 10. It is a very unique ride in the aspect that it's the only B&M to have like a JoJo roll, which was the first to have a JoJo roll, and as you can see on the screen right now, a messed up looking Cobra roll. I don't know how to explain it. It doesn't feel like a Cobra roll at all, but besides that, it was a great ride. So the next ride is Talon, the Grip of Fear. Um, this one didn't sell me. It had a great inversions and loops, but it didn't have strong G's in my opinion. Didn't have any strong G force, which made me drop it down in my ranking. So I'm gonna have to give it a flat 8. It's still amazing. I'm still happy it's there because this park is so alone. But it's just sad to see that this park with such a good lineup, or we'll get to that. But with this park with a lineup this strong, to get no rides. Like, it feels like this park could get so many rides. So the main thing I want to talk about is their new for 2024 Iron Menace. If you don't know, Iron Menace is their new B&M dive coaster, which is the type of ride where it like hangs over the drop, but not the type of ride that where the track moves, because that's coming to Cedar Point in a few months, which is crazy to think. But the ride is, I don't know how long actually, but it is 2,169 feet long. Had 4 inversions and a 95-degree drop, which I don't know why it's not just 96, because that would be the world record, but no. At 152 feet tall. It is the only ride to not have a panoramic turn at the top of the lift, which is not crazy, but it's just weird because all the other ones do. So why doesn't this one, you know? It is a smaller version, and in my opinion, it looks great. So I want to talk. Let's talk about the atmosphere of the ride. It is themed to an iron workshop after it got haunted, I'm pretty sure. And the queue line, at least, is very cool looking. Like, it is very visually appealing. You have all this, like, scrap everywhere. Metal scrap everywhere. With, different pieces from this abandoned workshop where they made all this metal. And you later in the line see these investigator people, these people that are investigating the the misworkings of this factory and like the spirits trapped inside. But I thought that this ride looked very nice. It looks really good when you're coming into the park. You see this bright red ride, and overall, it looks very nice, but it doesn't ride that well. It shocked me in how rough it was because this was my first modern post-COVID B&M. But it wasn't the smoothest compared to older, not even that old, like 5-year-old B&Ms. It's so rough, especially at the end where you get like a little bit of jackhammering, which shocked me because there are older rides that are 20, 30 years old. They're perfectly smooth. It's almost as smooth as their um uh, old school Aero coaster, Steel Curtain, which really shocked me. But it's still a fantastic ride. Like, it doesn't. It's rough a little, but it is a nice ride. But let's get. I'm gonna have to give. I'm gonna give it 8.5. It would be or an 8. It would be an 8.5 if it was slightly longer, because this is a very short ride, only 4 inversions or 4 elements in total, and most of the time on the ride is hanging over the drop, which that's kind of the whole point of the ride. But let's get to the next ride because that one's good, but this park still got more, even though it don't look like it. So the rest of the park is more of a traditional park. You have like it's all shaded and there's a stream going through the middle of it. It is a completely different vibe to it. It's almost like it's like a whole different park. It feels like. Um, but you can tell that it was made by different people and had different ideas going on when they were constructing it. Because instead of like the mostly concrete first half of the park, the second half of the park is all trees. There's barely any concrete, and they have 2 rides in this part of the park. There's Steel Force, which is their big school iron, not iron, iron coaster, steel coaster, very similar to Wild Thing and not Maverin, Magnum X200. But it's an amazing layout, and I'm gonna give Steel Force. What am I gonna give it? A 7.5. Because it's very strong layout. You got all of the big, like classical, great airtime. A lot of people don't like it, but I personally enjoy the ride. I think it could do with a little more theming, because it's just in an area with so much theming or so much nature, and it's this weird offshoot. But besides that, it's a really good ride. And their other ride, uh, I can't think of the name. Thunderhawk, I think. It's 100 years old and it's their wooden ride, and I thought it was pretty lackluster. It wasn't that good. It's 100 years old, but like it still has to be a good ride. They need a big wooden coaster or a big steel coaster. They need a big coaster because they don't got much going for them. There's no standout coaster, which I think in 10 years they should get their big Giga or Intamin. Not Giga, probably not. But Intamin, yeah. Intamin multi launch, I think, would go perfect at this park. But overall, it's an amazing park and has amazing ride, amazing atmosphere. The only big issue I have with the park is how it's. I don't know how to explain this, but all of the rides are in one part of the park. They're all at the top. And you have 2 rides at the bottom. And there's this massive hill in between it. And none of the rides use that hill for their advantage. I don't know if it's because of Hercules. They used to have a ride Hercules, which went down the mountain, but they got rid of that and replaced it with Hydra. But they need to do something with this hill, and there's so much land behind Hydra, which is just empty, and it could go. It's all deforested too, which is not the best, but like giant lake back there too, and they just don't use it. But it's still an amazing park, and I'm gonna have to give the park a 7.8 or a 7.5. It would be a 8 or a 9 if they had that one big ride. That's what they're missing. Their big ride, like their Fury or their Steel Vengeance or Ghost Rider. They need something big because right now it is not in a good spot on how it is. They need something new. And they just got something new, but this is not what. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you guys have a beautiful day. And the next video is going to be about King's Dominion and their new ride, Raptera.